When is the right time to create an irrevocable trust? Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Small. I own CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning and probate. We're great at it. Call us if you need help. Irrevocable trusts. I had a conversation the other day with a potential client who had a will, power of attorney, medical power of attorney, and they also had an irrevocable trust. They did not have a revocable trust. And we got into a bit of a discussion about why they would have created an irrevocable trust, what they were trying to do, and whether or not they actually needed an irrevocable trust to meet their goals, meet their needs. And the fact is they really did not. So I wanted to create this video to talk about when it's appropriate to have an irrevocable trust and in what order you should kind of go to create an irrevocable trust. First things first, when you do not need an irrevocable trust from jump, okay? I think you probably want to start thinking about an irrevocable trust if you are a Washington state resident or somewhere that some resident of a state where there is a state income tax, maybe about the $5, $6, $7 million net worth range. If you are under that, you absolutely do not need an irrevocable trust unless you are a drug dealer, a gun runner, someone that likes to find trouble, or likely to be sued because of your shenanigans. Otherwise, you just absolutely don't really need an irrevocable trust, okay? If you think you need one, by the way, this is my disclaimer, call an attorney and ask. They will tell you if you need one or not. But if you get a bad one, a bad attorney, you could wind up with an irrevocable trust just like these guys did. Step one is going to be to create your foundational estate plan, power of attorney, medical power of attorney, healthcare directive, will, disposition instructions, and in many cases, a revocable trust. A revocable trust, to summarize, is going to help you avoid probate and allows you to make long-term distributions to your family. If you are in Washington state or a state where you have a state estate tax, you may also use your revocable trust to create a credit shelter trust to add some estate tax planning to your foundational plan. If you are at $4 million and up, then you really, really want to consider doing a credit shelter trust if you are in Washington state in particular, which is my state. That is going to be your foundational plan. When you want to bring an irrevocable trust into play is if you have completed that plan, you find yourself in that 5, 6, 7 and up kind of range, and you want to do some things to mitigate some estate taxes. The reason that you want to wait that long is, in most cases, with an irrevocable trust, to get the estate tax help that you want, you are going to have to give up pretty much all control over the assets that you put into the irrevocable trust. You're also not going to get a favorable capital gains tax treatment with any property that you put into an irrevocable trust. You're going to receive that property or give that property, and it's going to go into the irrevocable trust with the same tax basis that you bought it at. And when you die, there is not going to be a step up in tax basis, which means you're going to pay some capital gains tax. Sometimes that's fine, but in most cases, there are other things that you can do to reduce your taxes and hang on to that capital gains step up in basis when you're gone. The other thing that people consider or think about using irrevocable trusts for is asset protection. You also don't start with an irrevocable trust when you want to do asset protection. What do you start with? You start with insurance. Make sure that you have all the insurance that you're allowed to have. Auto insurance, don't just get the minimum. Homeowners insurance, have a good policy. And then you're also going to get what's called an umbrella policy that you can get that will cover everything that you own and then some. So if you do something bad, if you make a big mistake and you have a huge judgment as a result of that, your umbrella policy can kick in and pay that off. Those policies are not expensive and they provide a significant amount of coverage. After you get past the insurance, the next thing that you're going to want to think about is creating an LLC, particularly if you own a business, if you have rental real estate, if you have things going on in your life that are in some ways outside of your control, and you want to silo those away from all of your personal assets. By the way, real quick, retirement accounts have tremendous asset protection on their own. No matter what judgment you get against you, at least in Washington state, they pretty much cannot touch your retirement accounts. So just know that as well. There are other mechanisms in place to protect you in case something bad happens. As I was saying, though, step two is the LLC. You create an LLC, you put your rental house in there, something wacky happens at your rental house, then the rest of your assets are shielded from protection, shielded from liability from that rental house. If you set it up right, maintain it right, which you should do. Okay, it's not that hard. It takes a little bit of work, but the upside, tremendous. After you create as many LLCs as you need to protect you, then you may want to consider doing an irrevocable trust. But even then, it's going to be overkill for 99.9% of the people that are watching this video. Just don't do it. It may be cool. You may think it's cool to have one, but just don't do it. Okay? So that's it. Irrevocable trust in a nutshell, when you should use them, when you should get them, in what order, what you should do first. If you don't have your foundational estate plan, you do not need an irrevocable trust. Just don't even think about it. Don't even go down that rabbit hole. When people come and talk to us and they want to talk irrevocable trusts, if they don't have their foundational plan in place first, we literally just will not talk to them about it until they're done with the beginning. Get the basics done. They provide you significant coverage. Then go and get your irrevocable trust. That is it. Hope that helped. If it did, that's great. If you want more of this stuff, subscribe. Okay? If you want help, reach out and we will help you. All right, that is it. I'm Christopher Small, CMS Law Firm. Let's go. See ya.